Hi, in this video I'm going to ask the question and try and answer it as to whether or not you treat cheap internet marketing products as being almost valueless. And a Facebook group I'm in suggested that in the early days of the internet marketing business, where a cheap product was maybe $97 and upsells were often in the thousands, the success rate was higher. And that got me thinking, because nowadays a typical entry-level product is under $10, sometimes as low as $5 or even $1, and sometimes entirely free. The information in it isn't very much different from the $97 products that were around when I first started the web, and those gradually dropped in price, so the normal amount, normal in quote marks obviously, was 67 or 47 or 27, and the kind of figure we see still in places like ClickBank. And in fact nowadays the information is probably higher quality. Way back then you'd have got a PDF report. Well, might have been a PDF, might have been a file wrapped up in an executable file, because that was often quite common as well. Probably about 50 pages or so, sometimes a lot more. No videos, no Facebook groups or webinars or Skype calls or other support methods that are now pretty much almost a default, even for products that are competing in price with your daily fix of coffee. And I think the price point is definitely part of the problem. It's difficult to make the switch in our mind from the price of a large coffee to some information that could make a significant difference to our bank balance, and it's easy to have a more or less daily fix of internet marketing products to go alongside that cup of caffeine or whatever your particular indulgence is. Maybe we even spend about the same time on the new piece of marketing as information as we do on sipping the coffee. 2, 3, 4, 5. Then it gets put in the trash, or more likely it gets stored in the hard drive still, before the next replacement product comes along, and it's easy for those small purchases to mount up. By the time there are upsells, even if you only take a handful of them, and then there's must-have pieces of software that will definitely make the system work for you, honest, it mounts up big time. And then there's a few dollars on Bing or Facebook or ClickSense or Solo or video ads, and before you know it, your internet marketing hobby is costing you $500 or more a month. And the income, if there is any, is nowhere near that level, but there are glimpses that it's just around the corner and will be happening soon. It's a bit like that pot of gold at the end of the rainbow. And it's only there if you buy the next Spill the Beans product. But most of the answers to the question of whether or not you treat cheap internet marketing products as being almost valueless, and most of the answers in the Facebook group were along the same lines. They were saying it's not the products to blame, it's the people buying them. A little bit nasty, but it's probably true. Because more correctly, it's the human nature of the people buying them. Almost all products have that same instant results nature. It's not just confined to internet marketing by a long way. Check the titles of the weight loss books on Amazon. If you really could drop as many pounds as they claim, as fast as they claim, while still eating near enough everything, there'd be no market for the books in a month's time. Back when I learned various bits of programming, there were books series that promised I'd learn everything in 12 or 24 hours. The title conveniently forgot to mention those weren't consecutive hours, but it was the implication that, you know, within half a day or a day you could learn it. And then there were usually lessons and homework and stuff on top of that, so quite a stretch of the imagination, but yeah, okay, that was the sales pitch and it worked. Self-help, the best-selling meditation product that I promote, works in 12 minutes a day, and that's down from previous times of 30 and then prior to that 60 minutes. Fits in with people's I want it now mentality. And going back to that coffee, it's not quite instant speed, but it's pretty fast, and certainly queuing up in a shop, it's probably quicker than brewing it at home and keeping all those syrups and marshmallows and dustings of chocolate and cinnamon and whatever and all the other extras in stock in your kitchen. But the quality of all these internet marketing products is, at least a fair amount of the time, decent enough. It's our perception of them that skews things, because in your mind you're thinking, how can a $7 product increase my income by hundreds or even thousands a month? And if it's a decent enough quality, and if you spend a decent amount of time putting it into practice and working out if there's anything extra you need to add to your knowledge, it'll probably do that. Probably be gaps in the information you buy. There always are. You can't have the complete anything, because you've got an Encyclopedia Britannica that steps from here to the ceiling and further. and that still doesn't have all the information that Wikipedia's got. So yeah, there's always gaps. The gaps probably won't be deliberate. Most product creators actually don't teach what they produce face to face, so they don't know what people like you and me and their other purchasers don't know. Face to face, it's a lot different. I taught my Kindle course a while ago to a small group of people before I released it on the web, and the questions I got surprised me. There were basics that I thought everyone knew, and therefore I hadn't planned to include them, and that happens all the time, and it never ceases to amaze me. Usually get them on when I've released a product or whatever, and people say, but how do you do that? Don't you know? Okay, here. But usually those gaps are easy enough to fill, maybe with a quick email to product creator, maybe a question in a support group, maybe a search on YouTube, because that's got lots and lots of information anyway. And the difficulty is usually it's in the implementation of the product, because often it sounds too simple to work, especially a $7 or a $10 product, because that's part of the pitch. Usually it's along the lines of put up a website, create some content with affiliate links in it, repeat the process, or create some slides, record a video like this one, with you reading the slides, upload it to YouTube, repeat, and so on. Well, that's the basics, that's 2 separate products there, and that works. And okay, even a $7 product will go into more detail than those 2 liners, but there are also web pages that will talk you through the entire process for free, and they're on my site if you want to click down the link below this video and go for it. But with $7 and even $700 products, our minds play tricks with us. But especially with the cheaper end, surely something that's free or cheap can't be valuable. We've almost been trained for that. But it can. We just have to shift how our mind perceives the information. Think of it as closer to a physical book written by a world expert. There are plenty of those around, and lots of information places like Amazon for not much money. Then treat it as though you'd spent thousands on it. Treat it as though it's a $5,000 weekend course or whatever. You'd concentrate a lot more on that, even though people go to those and don't concentrate lots, but you'd concentrate a lot more if you'd spent $5,000 than if you'd spent $7,000. It's not always an easy shift, but it's one that's well worth doing. So for the next 30 days, only work on one project, not 5, 10, 20 or 30, no distractions. Go cold turkey on buying new offers. Unsubscribe from emails that are too distracting, or save them until the month's time or whatever. They'll still be there, and if the offer isn't, be another one. Just work on that one project daily for the next month. No excuses like I didn't get the chance to do anything today, but I'll catch up tomorrow. Honest. Because deep down you know that won't happen, and it'll just languish like all those other good ideas. But after the month, evaluate what's happening and then shift if need be, or carry on if need be. Whichever, but you'll know after a month. You'll have a very, very, very good idea whether it's working or not, or likely to work. And publicly commit to do this, and then do it. You'll increase your chances of success a big time, an order of magnitude more. If you'd like more help, click the link below this video, but the thing to do is you've probably got a load of products on your hard drive already. Pick one of them. You've already bought them. They're probably good enough, unless they're a year or 2 old, and they might be out of date, but they might not be. And ideally, if it is a year or 2 old and it's not out of date, that's actually a fantastic system, because that's even better to follow. But just do it. You'll find it's amazing how much difference it can make. Okay, thanks for watching.